Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing how to grow your business. So I get this question all the time, and it is New York City versus outside of New York City. So technically, I grew up in Brooklyn. That's New York City. There's 5 boroughs of New York City. But I don't really operate in New York City. My office is 2-3 miles from New York City. I'm very close to Queens, but I operate in Nassau and Suffolk. That's my area of operation. When I started, I chose to do Nassau and Suffolk because I lived in Nassau and Suffolk. And I was buying a lot of occupied properties, and I always felt like eviction in New York City is much harder and longer than Nassau County. So there are pros and cons of New York City versus the rest. So the advantages of New York City is you got a ton of people, right? 8 million people in New York City, 4 million people in Brooklyn. I think, 2 million people in Queens. It's a lot of people. So you have a density, and there's a tremendous appetite for properties there. So you're not going to have problems selling things there. That's an advantage. There's also more activity. There's more cash buyers. There's more retail buyers. There's more. Some of the disadvantages are what I just said. Believe it or not, there's more competition in New York City. There's less competition outside of New York City. And the big thing for me was always this, evicting somebody, because I do buy a lot of occupied properties. Now, the truth is, if you say I'm going to New York City, I'm just not buying anything, I'm only buying vacant, then that sort of eliminates that problem. But I've always felt like, let me give you an example. So when I started going to auctions in 2013, there were maybe 50 people at the Nassau County auction. At the same time, there were like hundreds of people in the Queens auction. As things got busier, and I did it for 4 years straight, there were maybe 500 people in Nassau County. There were thousands of people in the Queens auctions on Friday. Nassau County auctions on Tuesday, Queens auctions on Friday. There were so many people in the Queens auctions, they'd sell it inside the courthouse, and they'd have to come out to the 1,000 people waiting outside and announce it again and see if anybody would pay more out there. So it was a crazy, crazy situation in Queens. Always more activity in Queens. For me, I always wanted to operate where there was less, but Nassau County still has almost 1.5 million people, and I was fine with that. And Long Island is 3 million people. So it's really what you know, right? If you are in Brooklyn and you want to operate closer to home, I completely understand it. You can make money in Brooklyn, in Queens. You can make money in the boroughs. You make money anywhere. This can be done anywhere. There's pros and cons, advantage and disadvantage. Another big disadvantage I feel in Queens is that really block to block things can be very, very different. So if you don't really know, you comp out something. I'll give you an example in Manhattan. One street to another street can be a difference of $1 million. So it's harder for me to comp it out. And now, obviously, in Nassau County and Suffolk County, there are also areas where you need to be very careful, right? Different sides of the tracks and different school districts. But in New York, I always felt like if I don't really study this, I don't get into it. Now, I happen to know people that know every single block in Manhattan and can tell you that. But to me, that was more work. But I don't want you to be discouraged. I chose not to do the 5 boroughs, and I still look at deals once in a while in Queens. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't. So it's really what you know. If you live in the 5 boroughs, you want to operate in the 5 boroughs, then do it. There's billions of people there, literally. So it's really just what you want. It's what you want to do. There's pros and cons to both, right? If I would say, though, that if you're buying anything occupied in New York City, you need to figure it's going to take like 2 years to get the people out, because it takes forever. Court system in New York in the city is much more slanted towards the tenant than it is outside of New York City. That's about it. I hope this was helpful. I get this question so many times. I think I might have even answered it before, so I keep coming up, so I keep wanting to do more videos on it. But there's pros and cons in New York City versus the rest of New York State. Advantages and disadvantages. You got to just operate where you want to operate. Everybody's looking for reasons to not get into this. Oh, the market's going to change. Oh, this is a bad area. People are making money in every market, in every area. You just got to be consistent in your marketing. Find sellers who are willing to sell the property at a discount, lock it up, and then it's easy to monetize once that happens. That's the whole business. That's it. I hope this was helpful. If you want to know other ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please click like. I really appreciate the thumbs up. It's helped my SEO, my search engine optimization lately. And keep the comments coming with any requests. Again, if it's a topic I just covered, I'll just send you the video link. There's no bad questions. There's nothing too basic. If you don't know what you're doing, put in a comment and I'll answer whatever question and do a video on the topic. Thank you very, very much for watching.